Welcome to the premiere broadcast of A New World, Politics, Culture, and Personalities with the Turkish American Perspective. This program is made possible by a generous grant from the Turkish Coalition of America. The program will bring to viewers news, opinions, and commentary from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. I am Lincoln McCurdy, President of the Turkish Coalition of America, better known as TCA. The Turkish Coalition of America is an educational, public charitable organization established in 2007 that is committed to building coalitions and working with all like-minded organizations based on shared values. For more information on TCA, please check out our website, www.turkishcoalitionofamerica.org. One of the objectives of the Turkish Coalition of America is to encourage greater dialogue between the Turkish American community and our elected officials, especially in the U.S. Congress. For example, as Turkish Americans speak out more, we have seen an increase in the number of members in the Congressional Turkish Caucus. Thanks to the grassroots efforts of Turkish Americans across the country, the Turkish Caucus is now at an all-time high of 80 members. In the last 2 years, we have also seen Turkish Americans more politically involved. For the first time, Turkish Americans have raised over $1 million for congressional, state, and local races in this election cycle. This is a significant achievement, and this figure does not include contributions to presidential candidates. Nearly 100 candidates have been supported, and some 40 exclusive Turkish American fundraisers were held. There are now 2 Turkish American Political Action Committees, also called PACs, the Turkish Coalition USA PAC, based in Washington, D.C., and the Turkish PAC in Houston, Texas. These 2 PACs have contributed over $135,000 to candidates who understand the importance of U.S.-Turkish relations. A 3rd Turkish American PAC may be established in the state of California. For our first program of A New World, Politics, Culture, and Personalities with the Turkish American Perspective, we will have guests from the United States Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives, experts providing their insights into the 2008 elections, and members of the Turkish American community at the forefront of a national effort to mobilize the voices and power of the community. I would like now to turn to Lydia Borland, an experienced political consultant here in Washington, D.C., to give you information about Rafat Sivisolu, the only Turkish American running for public office this year.
Rafat Sivisolu is the only Turkish American running for elected office this year. He's running as a Democrat for DuPage County Board, which is right outside of Chicago. There are only 2 other Turkish Americans who have ever held elected office, so this is actually a very historic occasion. Rafat joins us now by telephone from the campaign trail. Rafat, thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about your campaign, Rafat, please.
Yes, certainly. I am running for DuPage County Board, and that's DuPage, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. It is a county with a population of over 1 million. That's greater than the size of Alaska, which is in the news a lot these days. Its budget is nearly $500 million annually, so it's a significant office. And this is a very good and important step for Turkish Americans, as well as obviously for the local tax-paying public to get someone in there fighting for them.
What are your top issues?
The campaign is going quite well. I'm in the top 2 in the polls, evidently. I've also been endorsed by one of the major newspapers. So we're working hard. We've been working for well over a year. But we obviously continue to need support these last few crucial days before the election.
Could you tell us how voters are responding to you in your campaign?
The top issues in my campaign are really pocketbook issues, as they are most everywhere. Then we have taxpayers here who are overburdened by by the system, by entrenched politicians who are really acting primarily in self-interest as opposed to fighting for taxpayers. So they've seen their property taxes and assessments go up to record levels. They've seen service cuts. And what's behind this? Cronyism, patronage. There are structural defects such as the county board members accept campaign contributions from companies who do business with the county, and this is obviously very improper, and these are some of the reforms that I'm going into to help institute.
Rifat, can you tell us how the response has been from the Turkish American community?
Turkish community response has been good but isolated, I would say. There are pockets of support. Those who have been very active. In fact, in my campaign office as we speak, I've got about 4 volunteers working furiously, and others that come in on a regular basis. The support is not what it has to be if we're to be successful on a broad scale, certainly. And there are also, and talking about pockets, there are also pockets of folks who have steadfastly refused to support me, even though I am the only Turkish American, and I think it bears saying that unfortunately the local faith-based group of Turks, the leadership in any event, have not lifted a finger on my behalf. But offsetting that, I've had a great contribution from people as far away as California, Florida, so ranging from students to doctors, businessmen, store owners, giving what they can, and for me, whether it's a $5,000 contribution for a business executive or $25 from a retired person or student, they have the same weight, the same value. And that's been very rewarding. In addition to, as I said, the local volunteers, I've got a mother-daughter team. Daughter is a wonderful child, 10 years old. Mother is a hard-working single mom. And they're out here every week for me, as well as another family, father, mother, and a teen daughter, and they're out here working harder than you can possibly imagine. And of course, I contrast that with those who could help me and don't, unfortunately. But we're going to persevere, and we're going to succeed nonetheless.
As a Turkish American, do you consider your candidacy symbolic or trailblazing?
Well, yes. In some respects, I certainly can be considered an example, and that's really a large part of why I was running, in addition to obviously addressing the local issues here. I want to set an example to new immigrant communities broadly and Americans generally who are not involved in the political process, as well as specifically our Turkish American community, that this is not an option to stand by the sidelines and let other folks dictate decisions on our behalf, and more often than not against us. And the way to do it is by local involvement. It's very glamorous, very exciting to get involved in the national level and debate it on end. But the reality is our ability to affect national races is just about nil. We just don't have the political power, neither in terms of contributions nor of volunteers, certainly, to make any difference. If we were to give $1 million as a community, which we certainly aren't nowadays, and someone would come along and give $2 million, and that would be the end of that. It would never have any sort of say. What we have to do is get them all locally, take that money, take that energy, and just as other immigrant communities have done before us and shown us the way, we need to get local officials elected into office, and on a broad scale, and in every area where there are Turkish Americans living, and a variety of different posts. There are a whole host of them that, no matter what your age, from 18 to 80, you could run for and get elected to. So I want to get this win for us, and it looks as though we're going to be able to do it again with everyone's help. But please do visit my site, voterifat.com, voterifat, and contribute however you can. and next time I want to be there contributing for your campaigns.
Thank you so much, Rafat, and good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you so much.